welcome back everyone. So we're doing part 2 of this. I am going to help orient you to doing a couple of the exercises, and then once you're comfortable with that, we'll do the other ones together in Zoom, and then you'll be on your own and collaborating with each other. So again, this is the medical office simulation workbook, and I just want to orient you to a few of the major parts. So the front cover has some of our CPT codes, and this is our fee schedule. So it's organized by the CPT code, and then a brief description of what the CPT code refers to, and then the fee for Dr. Sam's office. On the first page over, we have the actual scenarios that we'll be doing. Okay. And then I have a tab here for the appointment book portion of the exercise. I have a paper insurance form, the CMS 1500. In this section, I have some mock deposit slips. And then we have some fake checks, mock checks. In this section, we have our mock receipts. And then in the back, we have what I'm just calling the daily checkup form. So at the end of one of your hypothetical days working at Dr. Sam's office, it'll just help you reorient what you've done and what you've learned. Okay, so let's get started. Again, this is the fee schedule for Dr. Sam's office. So we're going to go to the first cover, and this is job 1-1. So the first number is going to refer to the day, and because it's day 1 in Dr. Sam's universe, it's Monday, April 5th. And then 1-1, 1-2, 1-3 is what we're going to be doing in this segment. So let's read this together. Job 1-1. So at about 8:50 a.m., a new patient, Mary Chang, arrives. Prepare a ledger card for her using the information that she provided on the patient registration form. Ms. Chang's concerned about chest pain that she's been experiencing. Charge Ms. Chang for a level 2 office visit, and she's a new patient, so that's going to be code 99202. And then schedule a return appointment for her for Thursday, April 8th at 9:15 a.m. for a re-exam of the chest pain and discussion of the test results. She will be having a stress test at the hospital today, so we don't have to charge for that. Ms. Chang pays $20 in cash. We're going to give her a receipt for her payment, and we're going to prepare an insurance card for her on her behalf. So we're not going to do the insurance claim form today, but we are going to do the other parts of that. So it's 8:50 a.m. and we have a new patient, Mary Chang. So I'm going to pull out the day sheet, which is this long green form that I'm using. Okay. And before we start with the specifics of Mary Chang, let's fill out the top of this so that we know what day it is. So this is going to be page 1 of 1. And today's date in Dr. Sam's universe is April 5th. Okay. So it's Mary Chang, and she's a new patient. So I want you to pull out your ledger packet. So that's this big packet with these rounded cornered pictures. And we're going to pull up her chart. So these are alphabetical by last name. So Mary Chang will be with the C section. And I had already prepared the ledger card for her. Okay, so here she is. Okay. All right, so let's fill this out together. She's a new patient. I don't have real registration card for her, so we'll leave the phone numbers blank. But I just did this to do a mock-up of what a real ledger card would look like. The balance forward, because she's a new patient, she's got a balance forward of 0. Okay. And today is April 5th. So put that in. Reference is going to be her first name. And when we're reading the description of what's going on with her, we have a new patient level 2 office visit. So if I didn't put 99202 in that, you could go to the CPT part and look that up there. Okay. So that's a 99202. Okay. So when we're looking at the fee schedule, we've got 99,202. That's a level 2 new patient office visit, and the fee for that is $147. So that will go under charges under her ledger. And I'm just going to put this horizontal line to represent zeros. And if we remembered, she made a payment of $20 today. So I'm going ahead and put that under payments. Okay. There's no adjustment. Okay. So now we'll calculate her new balance. So hopefully you remember, but if you don't, we'll do a quick review. Let's do, I'm going to just write down the formula here for how to calculate the new balance. The new balance for a patient is equal to their previous balance plus charges minus payments minus adjustments. Okay, so here we have her previous balance was 0. Her charges today were $147. And her payments were $20, and her adjustments were 0. So the new balance is going to be $127. Okay. So now this is on her ledger card. This is her ledger that kind of follows her as she is a patient at our office and establishes an account. We also are going to want to make a receipt for her. So the receipts are in the main workbook, and I have it tabbed out here for receipts. So we're going to turn to that. And the first receipt that we have is receipt 143. I'm sorry, 143. Okay. So it's small, so I'm just going to fill it out as clearly as I can. The date is April 3rd. The reference is Mary again. Description is 99,202. And the charges were $147. Okay. One thing that I should have done first is I should have put down the previous balance. That is the easiest step that people make mistakes on. And that's like the #1 reason why students get things wrong on the exams and get things wrong in this project. So her previous balance was 0. Okay. Her payments were 20. So then her new balance is 127. Okay. And her name, Mary Chang, goes in this line. Okay. And there's a little space here for you to put her next appointment. So you can put Thursday, April 8th at 9:15. And that's it. So you filled out a receipt for her. And in a real office, you would tear this off and give this to her. Okay. The third thing that we need to do so that we have all our paperwork in order is we need to fill this out on what's called the day sheet. So the day sheet is basically a summary of all of the financial transactions that occur in a day. And at the end of the day, we'll have a series of financial, phenomena that occurred that day, and then we'll total that. So somebody that would be an office manager would be able to look at the bottom of this and get a summary snapshot of what happened in that day. So let's do that. So we've got our date, which is April 4th. So we're basically recreating what we've done in just 3 separate places. Okay, so today is, April 5th in Dr. Sam's universe. Let me double check that, sorry. So April 5th. Okay. And reference again is Mary. And remember, the first thing I want you to fill out before you do any of the numbers is her previous balance. So in this case, it was 0. Okay. And her payments were $20. So the new balance is $127. Okay. So her new balance is $127. Okay. And her payments were $20. So then her new balance is $147. Okay. So Okay. We'll put the CPT code for the description, so that's 99202. And the charges were $147. Her payment was $20. So her new balance is $127. Okay. And we'll write Mary Chang here. Okay. And we gave her a receipt, so we will mark that we gave her receipt 143. And she paid the $20 in cash. So I'm going to just note that the $20 was a cash and not a check. Great, so that's it for job 1-1. We're going to try job 1-2 now. So 1-2, another new patient, Phyllis Carmen, arrives for her 10 o'clock a.m. appointment. Prepare a ledger card for her using the information she provided on the patient registration form. She reports pain while urinating. Dr. Sam tests a sample of Ms. Carmen's urine. Charge Ms. Carmen for a level 2 office visit. She's a new patient, and we're also going to charge her for a urine test without microscopy. So the code there is 81002. We're going to schedule an appointment for her to come back on Thursday, April 8th at 10:15 a.m. She's going to pay $20 cash to us. So we're going to give her a receipt, and we're going to mark that on a day sheet, and we're going to mark that on the ledger form. Okay, so let's pull out our ledger packet and find Phyllis Carmen's ledger card. Oh, there she is. Okay. So the date today in Dr. Sam's universe is April 5th. So I'm going to write that down here. Okay. Reference is Phyllis. And description. So there's going to be 2 CPT codes that we're going to fit in here and charge her for today. The first was the new patient level 2 office visit. So that was a 99202. And then the urine test without microscopy. So that was an 81002. Okay. So let's take a look at our CPT fee schedule to see what we are charging her with today. So it's a 99202. So I'm going to just do the little math and scribble it off in the corner here. So that was $147. And then the urine test, which is an 81002. So that is $40. So that gives her total charges today of $187. Oops, I forgot to set up her ledger sheet before. So she's a new patient, so her balance forward will be 0. Okay. And today's charges are $187. Okay. She made a payment of $20. There's no adjustment. And so her new balance is going to be her previous balance plus charges, minus payments, minus adjustments. So that will give us a new balance of $167. Okay, so let's recreate this and make a receipt for her. So we'll go to the receipts portion of the workbook. And because our previous patient, Mary Chang, got receipt 143, Phyllis Carmen is going to get receipt 144. So in a real office, it's important that the receipts are made out to the patient sequentially so that anyone that's auditing the finances can see where all the money is going in and out. Okay, so receipt number 144, and it is April 5th. We're making this out to Phyllis. And the description is going to be the 2 CPT codes, so that's 99202 and 81002. Sorry, I should have done previous balance first. So previous balance is 0 because she's a new patient. And charges are $187. Okay, she made a payment of $20. So her new balance is $167. Okay, and she's coming back on Thursday, April 8th at 10:15 a.m. for a follow-up appointment. Okay. Last thing that we're going to do for Phyllis Carmen is we're going to recreate that information on the day sheet. Okay, so we have April 5th. Reference is Phyllis. And the first thing that we're going to do before we do any numbers is we're going to fill in her previous balance. So that was 0. Our codes that we charge her for today is 99202 and 81002. And the total of those two charges is $187. She made a payment of $20. So her new balance is going to be $167. She got receipt 144. And I'm going to check and see if she paid with cash or check. It was cash. So we'll fill in $20 for that cash. Okay, great. So let's do one more in this segment. So that's going to be job 1-3. Okay. So 1-3 is William Aaron. William Aaron, an established patient, arrives for his appointment. He's in to have his blood pressure checked. Mr. Aaron's blood pressure is elevated, so Dr. Sam performs an EKG. Mr. Aaron did not make a payment today, so we do not need to write him a receipt. Make an appointment for him to come back on Thursday, April 8th at 10 a.m. And we're going to bill him for a level 3 office visit and an EKG with interpretation. So William Aaron is a little bit different from the other two that we did. Phyllis Carmen and Mary Chang were new patients. William Aaron is an established patient, so we're going to find his ledger card, and he might already have a balance with us. And we're going to charge him a little bit differently for the office visits because the CPT codes are different for established patients versus new patients. Okay, so here is the ledger card, and William Aaron is the first one there. And you can see that when it was a new ledger card, his balance was 0, but he came in back in January and racked up some charges and has a $527 balance with us. So today he has new charges, and so his new charges are going to be added to the previous balance so that we get a running total of how much he owes the office. Okay, so William Aaron. So let's start off with the ledger. Today in Dr. Sam's world is April 5th. Okay. Reference is William. And it looks like we're charging him with two things. We're doing a level 3 office visit and an EKG with interpretation. So let's go to the fee schedule and look for those codes and look for the corresponding fees. So he is a level 3 office visit. So this evaluation and management portion is going to give us our office visit codes. And it's a level 3, so that's a 99213. Okay, and that's $111. Okay, so just off to the side, I'm going to jot down $111. And then we're going to look for the code for EKG with interpretation. Okay, so on the back front cover of the workbook, I have just a bunch of miscellaneous codes. So I have my EKG with interpretation. The code is 93,000, and the fee for that is $131. So on the ledger, all right, 93,000. And the fee for that is 131. So the total charges for today is 242. Okay. He made no payments today, so that will be 0, and there are no adjustments. So his new balance is going to be the previous balance plus charges minus payments minus adjustments. So that will be 527 plus 242. So that would be $769. Okay. So now that we've had, we have this written down on the ledger, we are going to put that same information on the day sheet. Okay. So it's April 5th. And the reference is William. And the description, remember, we have 2 codes for him. So 99,213 and 93,000. Okay. Before we do any of the numbers, I want to make sure that I'm going to write down the previous balance. So his previous balance was $527. And today's charges is $242. He made no payments and there were no adjustments. So his new balance is going to be the previous balance plus the charges. So that is $769. Okay. So William, Aaron, his name goes there. And I forgot to put Phyllis Carmen from earlier, so I'll just jot that in right now. Okay. William did not make any payments today, so he got no receipt and there was no payments from him. Okay, so that is it for our second section. Thank you so much, and we'll be right back in a bit for section 3.